For this step of the project, we are going to be adding in some base cabinets that you might find in a shed in your yard. To find these parts that we're going to be adding in, we're going to be using our component tool. Our component tool is one of our most robust tools that we will find. Preloaded in your component tool, you're going to find some tools or some furniture, like a desk or a parking space or some trees. What we're going to be adding in though is some casework that would be some cabinetry, like kitchen cabinets. To find this, we're not going to go over here under our properties. We're going to be going to load family. To load your family, you click here. Now it looks like the last time I loaded something from the family was my windows, which was in a previous assignment. So now I have to go back and I'm going to click on my US Imperial folder. And again, all these folders are organized alphabetically. So I'm going to open up my casework folder. I'm going to double click on that. Inside my casework folder, you'll see that we have wall cabinets, tall cabinets, shelving, countertops, and base cabinets. In order to build a kitchen, we use base cabinets. So I'm going to double click on that. Inside my base cabinet folder, I have a ton of different base cabinets. For this particular assignment, we're going to avoid all of these vanity cabinets. Those are not the right ones. We want all of the base cabinets above. Feel free to click on the different cabinets and look to the right to see what that cabinet looks like. On this portion of the assignment, you get some freedom over what these cabinets look like. Rarely are we going to use the filler for now. Rarely will we use the built-in. We're going to mostly stick to the bins and the drawers and the ones with double doors or the single doors. Maybe a sliding drawer or just a single door. I personally am going to start with some 4-drawer cabinets after I add in a double sink unit because all kitchens need a sink. So I'm going to start with that one. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to choose open. Now, if this component has not been loaded yet, I will switch over to this component. If I already have it loaded, it's going to go back to something I've already tried to add, but I haven't added a sink yet. Now, for my particular plan, I do not want a 30-inch sink. I'm going to change from the default to a 36-inch base cabinet for my sink. I'm going to scroll to zoom in, so I'm dropping it in the right place. I'm going to look for the dotted line to know that my cabinet is going to connect to the wall. Look at that blue dotted line at the bottom, and I'm going to click to drop it in. Now, I don't want any more sinks in my cabinet, so I'm going to load, or in my shed, I'm going to load in some more cabinets. So I'm going to go back to load family, and this time I'm going to add in some drawers. I like in my kitchen having drawers, so I'm going to choose 4 drawers, and I'm going to click on open. Going to load in all of my drawers and it's going to start with a default, which is 18 inches. Probably don't want an 18-inch cabinet to begin with, so I'm going to start plopping in some 24-inch cabinets. So I changed the size. I want them to snap to each other so they're lined up. I'm going to drop one there, I'm going to drop one there, I'm going to drop one here, and I'm going to drop one here. Now on this side I have a really small amount of space left and this cabinet doesn't fit. So I'm going to try a different size. I'm going to go to a 12-inch and see how that fits. Oh, that's a little bit too small. Let's try the 15-inch. Oh, look at that. Almost fits perfectly. So I'm going to drop in a 15. Now I have a little bit of a gap here. So I could either scoot all of these cabinets over that little bit, or I could just start adding in some more cabinets over here and see how it fits in. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to 24-inch, and I'm going to drop in another 24-inch on this side. And I end up with just a teeny little bit on that side. I know for sure I'm not going to be able to fill that in between this side and this side with another cabinet, so I'm going to leave mine where it's at. And I'm going to hit escape once, and then another time to get rid of any cabinet that I might have. Now, if I want to add in more components, I just go back to my component tool. I can look to see if it's already preloaded in my properties menu. If it's not, I can look here. Also, I love that they have most recently used, but none of them have been used. I can go up here and I can load family. Now, maybe I have all my base cabinets in, but I want to add in a countertop. So I'm going to go to my casework. I'm going to click on countertops with a double click, and I'm going to look for some different countertops. For sure, I need a countertop with a sinkhole. I'm going to check which kind I have. Oh, I like that this one already has the sink in it. That's really nice. I have an island. The difference between the countertop here and the one with an island, I don't have that edge on the back. I have an L-shaped. I have all these different shapes of countertops. I don't want to choose vanity. We'll come back to why we don't want the vanities later. So I'm going to start with my sink because I just want to have a sink in it. So I'm going to click on open. And now it's going to start loading it. And here is my cabinet or my countertop with a sink. Now, right now, I know my sink is backwards. Oh, and look at it's a 24-inch depth sink. Let's see if I have different sizes. I don't. So I'm going to choose that one and I'm going to drop it in. Now, this isn't going to work because I do not have the right size cabinet for that particular sink. So I'm going to hit escape and I'm going to go back to component and I'm just going to load in a different one. I'm going to choose with a sink hole and I'm going to choose open. Now, perfect. This is the right size. So I'm going to click to drop it in. But hitting escape one time and choosing my modify tool, I need to flip around this countertop. The double line is here, which means that's my splash that should be against the wall. So I'm going to click on this button right there. And I'm going to slide in my countertop looking for that blue dotted line. Perfect. Now, if I want to extend out my countertop, I can extend out my countertop. And now I have a countertop extending all the way across. And later on, I'm going to add in a sink here. So that's how we add in some components like cabinetry and sinks. So let's do a sink. I'm going to go to component. I know I don't have any sinks here, but I'm going to check because they're organized alphabetically. I do not have a sink except for this one. Let me see. Let's see if it works. 42. Oh, look at that's way too big. So I'm going to hit escape and I am going to load in a sink. So I'm going to go to load family and sinks are going to not be found in my casework. So I'm going to go here, Imperial, and I'm going to scroll down to plumbing. Double click, architectural, double click, and fixtures, double click, and sinks, double click. They're really deep in there. I'm going to choose a double sink. Hopefully that's going to fit within my cabinet. I'm going to click on open. And look at that. It's saying, hey, that one already exists. Do you want to override it? I'm going to try this and see if it works. And look at it, it's still that too big of a kitchen sink. So I'm going to hit escape and I'm going to do it again. Load family. So I know that one's too big, so I'm going to load in a single sink. Click on open. And here we go. This is the correct size sink. It's going the wrong direction. I'll fix that in a moment. So I dropped in my sink. I'm going to hit escape and escape again. I'm going to choose my modify tool. I'm going to click on my sink and I'm going to hit this little button right here and boom, it flopped my sink around the right direction. Now I'm going to use my arrow keys on my keyboard to get the hole on my countertop to line up with the hole on my sink. Nailed it. So now I have a hole here. When I look at that sink in 3D mode, I can see that my sink looks really cool. Speaking of 3D mode, how do I get there? I'm going to go to view. I'm going to click right on the house for my 3D view. I'm going to scroll in. I'm going to go to this corner. I'm going to scroll back in. I'm going to click on the house and I can see as I click on the house what it looks like inside my house. So that's looking pretty great. Now, oh, major bummer, dude. All my kitchen cabinets are backwards. So I'm going to have to flip all of my cabinets around. I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on the button and I'm going to have to do that for every single one of my cabinets. Darn. Oh, that's not my, keeps wanting to go to my countertop. Waiting, there we go. Do that, slide it in. So I'll just have to work through and move all of those back. And when I pop back over to my 3D view, I'm gonna orbit this way just a bit. Click on my seal on my house or my roof. And now look at, you can see all of my drawers in my cabinets. So I'm gonna fix that up. What you guys need to do for this particular assignment is use that component tool to fill up your shed. You can explore more than just the cabinets and the casework by going to that architecture component and dig through the folders in your load family folders and look at all of that content that you can load in. Play around with it, see what you can discover, and then take a screenshot to submit your work when you're done.